A very bizarre and unfortunate incident took place out in Letcher County to where all right, let's try this again. All right, so a judge is dead after an argument with a sheriff in his chambers. And I'm going to play this clip and fair use. Without further ado, let's get straight to it. DJ, spin it.
This is breaking news from News Channel 11.
We're continuing to track that breaking news in Kentucky, where the Letcher County Sheriff is accused of shooting and killing a district judge inside the Letcher County Courthouse.
Kentucky State Police say 911 received a call about the shooting just before 3 p.m. today. Police confirmed that the shooting happened inside the county courthouse in Whitesburg, Kentucky. Our preliminary investigation indicates Letcher County Sheriff Sean Steins fatally shot Judge Kevin Mullins following an argument inside the courthouse.
Life-saving measures were reportedly attempted, but they were unsuccessful. Mullins was pronounced dead at the courthouse. News Channel 11's Jayana Scurry has been in Letcher County all evening piecing together what happened. So, Jayana, Kentucky State Police gave an update about 8 this evening. What have you learned?
Yes, Sarah, Casey, the scene is now clear, but earlier this afternoon, the Letcher County Courthouse was surrounded by officers after what we're told the Letcher County Sheriff, Sean Steins, fired multiple shots at District Court Judge Kevin Mullins, killing him after an argument. A quiet afternoon at the Letcher County Courthouse turned violent. The cause still unknown.
The details I do not have at this time. We know that it was an argument between the two that led up, but what exactly transpired prior to the shots being fired, still things that we're trying to get answers to.
Kentucky State Police Trooper Matt Gayhart says Letcher County Sheriff Sean Steins shot and killed District Judge Kevin Mullins inside of his judge's chamber within the courthouse. He says he also doesn't know if anyone else was in the judge's chambers, but there were multiple witnesses in the courthouse, and KSP wants to talk with everyone.
Every witness that was inside the building will be interviewed as standard protocol throughout the investigation.
Gayhart says Sheriff Steins was arrested at the courthouse and is cooperating. He has been charged with 1 count of first-degree murder. Gayhart says he's not aware of an incident like this ever happening before in Letcher County.
we could use everybody's prayers, send prayers for the family that they get through this difficult time.
The Kentucky State Police is taking lead on this investigation. Now Judge Mullins' body is being transported to a medical examiner's office where an autopsy is being done. Now Sheriff Steins remains in custody, but which correctional facility he's being transported to is not being shared at this time. Live in Whitesburg, Kentucky, Jayana Scurry, News Channel 11. Back to you all.
Thank you, Jayana. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear has responded to the fatal shooting of the judge. In a post on social media, the governor wrote, quote, "Sadly, I have been informed that a district judge in Letcher County was shot and killed in his chambers this afternoon." The governor added, "There is far too much violence in this world, and I pray there is a path to a better tomorrow," end quote. We will continue to follow this story and keep you up to date as more information comes into our newsroom.
Now, typically, whenever a sheriff goes into a judge's chambers, it is to work together to come to a resolution with into whatever case that's being presented at that particular time. So, if you ask me, and I'm just purely speculating right now, I think this was personal. Because why else would that sheriff go into the judge's chambers, they get into an argument, and then he pulls his gun out, and then, deletes the judge or whatever, right? So, there's a couple things in play here. Obviously, this man is going to be facing capital punishment, whether it be life in prison or the death penalty, because this man basically shot and killed a federal official, or a state official, right? Then he's probably not going to get bond, and he's going to be in protective custody because of his status as a law enforcement officer. They're not going to put him in general pop. If he goes to general pop, he's pretty much a dead man walking. And they're not going to share the location of where he's at to protect his safety. Even though he's going to be in protective custody, I don't know why they won't share the location where he's going to be at. Maybe they might try to quell the outrage as well. They probably don't want any kind of potential protesting going on at that jail too. So that could be another reason why they won't share where he's at. But I got some more information here. The sheriff that you saw in that briefing with the reporters, well, I got an expanded interview from that individual, and we're going to play it right now. DJ, spin that shit.
Tell us so far about the investigation.
This investigation today, Kentucky State Police Post 13 has received a call shortly before 3 p.m. In reference to shots being fired inside the Letcher County Courthouse. Multiple law enforcement agencies from around the area, along with emergency services, responded to the area and located District Judge Kevin Mullins with several gunshot wounds. Life-saving measures were taken, however, were unsuccessful. He was pronounced deceased on scene by Letcher County Coroner's Office. At that time, preliminary investigation indicated that Letcher County Sheriff Mickey Sean Steins fired at District Judge Kevin Mullins following an argument inside the courthouse.
Now, was there any motive, or was this just, did he go there to do that, or what do you...
At this time, that's questions that we're still trying to get answers to, what led up to the actual shooting itself and the moments prior to.
Sir, did the shooting take place inside the judge's chambers?
That's correct.
Was anyone else present?
There was other people present inside the building as well.
But not inside the chambers?
Not that I'm aware of.
Is there video, a camera that's inside that chamber?
As far as I'm aware, I think there is video from within the facility.
Are you able to tell us where those gunshots were at?
As far as locations, I do not. That's information that I don't know. And again, that's stuff that will be uncovered and identified later on.
How many shots?
At this time, we don't know.
Did you speak to any of the witnesses you mentioned?
Me personally, I did not. Every witness that was inside the building will be interviewed as standard protocol throughout the investigation.
The sheriff turned himself in?
That's correct. He was arrested on scene without incident shortly after officials arrived.
Do we know if he's
personal?
At this time, I am unable to answer.
Do we know if he's cooperated yet? Or?
As far as I know, yes.
Do we know what charges are pending for him?
Sheriff Steins was placed under arrest and transported to a correctional facility. He was charged with one count of murder in the first degree.
Now, will the sheriff's office have any, will they be helping out with this investigation?
The Kentucky State Police will take the lead on this. Post 13 detectives will be carrying the investigation.
I know schools were placed on lockdown in the area and students were held back. Is there any advice or what is going to go on tomorrow with schools or businesses that might be interested in closing, staying open?
So this was an isolated incident. We did place the school on temporary lockdown because we didn't know exactly what we were dealing with. Once we were here and was able to clear the scene and deemed that there was no further threat to public, we went ahead and released that lockdown and they went on about their day.
There are a lot of rumors going on social media right now, and it seems tensions might be high within this community. Is there anything that you can say to people right now?
We could use everybody's prayers, send prayers for the family, that they get through this difficult time.
And from, Laurel to Russell to now Letcher County, what has these past couple of weeks been like for the state police?
Very busy. It's been very busy, but that's what we're here to do. We're going to carry out and do our jobs in the way we need to.
Do you know how much longer you guys might be out here?
We should be able to clear the scene within the next 30 minutes.
Any idea what's next for the sheriff? I mean, what does this community do without a sheriff?
That will be handled by somebody else in the days coming. But as of right now, we'll continue to carry out our investigation.
From my understanding, this is the first time something like this has happened in this area. Can you confirm that?
As far as I'm aware, I don't know of anything of this magnitude.
And then of talking just with people in this area, can you provide us, what are they saying to you? Are they angry? Are they sad?
As of right now, I've not had a chance to speak to very many people. It's been a very hectic and busy day, but this community is small in nature, and we're all shook.
And what are the next steps? Just, I'm guessing, send it for autopsy report?
That's correct. There'll be an autopsy conducted in the days coming, and just following up on all the leads and make sure we conduct a thorough investigation.
Was it the sheriff's service pistol?
That I do not know.
Do you anticipate that those people who were present will be helping with the investigation?
I foresee so.
And do you know when the deputy was lifted as a deputy here?
I'm sorry?
The sheriff, do you know when he was appointed to sheriff?
He has, I think, spent 2 terms, so going on around 8 years.
To make sure it wasn't anyone else injured in this event?
There was no other injuries reported.
And where was he transported to, the sheriff?
To a correctional facility.
Correctional facility. No specific location?
At this time, we're not going to release that information.
When something like this happens, the community obviously responds. Would you have any words of encouragement to them in the days to come? We got to stick together and get through it one day at a time.
You mentioned an argument leading up to that. Do you have any information on the details on what
the details I do not have at this time. We know that it was an argument between the two that led up, but what exactly transpired prior to the shots being fired, still things that we're trying to get answers to.
How long had Judge Mullins been in his position?
That I'm not sure. I don't have that ready and available.
And is the body still inside?
No, it has been removed at this time.
Who appoints the sheriff? Like, who appoints? Who's going to become?
So as far as the process that's going to take place in the days, I'd let somebody else comment on that, and they would probably be better suited to answer that question for you.
Anything else, Trooper, that we didn't ask?
This time, no.
Do you know when the sheriff will have a court appearance?
I do not. That will probably not be scheduled until a later date.
And do you know if the body will be sent to Frankfort? Or?
To the medical examiner's office, that's correct.
Is the courthouse going to be shut down for any amount of time?
I have not been briefed on that. That is something that those officials will have to work through and decide what's best for not only the community, but the officials that work inside that building as well.
What can you tell us about the scene? Is it very gruesome? What is it?
As of right now, we don't have any of that information to share.
Thank you, Trooper.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Kevin Mullins was a district judge for the 47th Judicial District, which presides over Letcher County. He was appointed to the position in 2009 by former Governor Steve Beshear. He was elected to the position the following year, election records showed. Now, prior to becoming a judge, he was an assistant Commonwealth's attorney in Letcher County starting in 2001. He graduated from the University of Kentucky and attended the University of Louisville Louis D. Brandeis School of Law as a postgraduate. He was also an advocate for programs that diverted people with substance and disorder towards treatment rather than detention. He championed a program in Letcher County that allowed people facing behavioral health issues to have charges dropped in exchange for successful completion of a treatment program. Now, this is from the Mountain Eagle, a local news outlet out there in Kentucky. Now, the man on the left, Mr. Steins, or the former Sheriff Steins, he's been arrested and charged with first-degree murder in connection with the shooting Thursday at the Letcher County Courthouse. And this is coming from the Kentucky State Police. Now, the agency spokesperson said in the news release that Post 13 and Hazard received news reports around 2:55 p.m. that shots were fired inside the courthouse. Multiple first response agencies arrived at the scene and found that District Judge Kevin Mullis, 54 years old, of Jaghorn, has suffered multiple gunshot wounds. He was pronounced dead at the scene by the Letcher County Coroner's Office. Now, investigators determined that the shooting transpired after an argument between Steins and Mullins took place. Steins was taken into custody shortly without incident. Now, the Kentucky State Police is continuing on with this investigation. They said that he walked into the judge's outer office and told court employees that he needed to talk to Mullins alone. The pair entered into the inner office, closed the door, and shots rang out shortly after. He then walks out the room with hands raised and turned himself into police. This is crazy. This is a crazy story. Now, Mr. Steins, the sheriff who is currently in custody right now, is from Neon, Kentucky, and lived in McRoberts, an unincorporated community in Letcher County, according to a Facebook page. According to a 2007 article from the Mountain Eagle, he was formerly a bailiff for Letcher County District Court prior to being elected sheriff in 2018. And a 2022 lawsuit filed in U.S. District Court alleging a Letcher County deputy sheriff offered favorable treatment for sexual advances. Steins was listed as a defendant for allegedly failing to properly train the deputy sheriff. The suit also says the abuse occurred in the chamber of Mullins, but does not say if he was aware of it or alleged he was involved in any wrongdoing. The suit also alleged Steins did not reasonably respond to reports or suspicions. Steins went on to fire the deputy sheriff for conduct unbecoming. In 2019, Steins was vocal about the meth epidemic plaguing Letcher County after a group of 5 students were involved in an incident with meth, according to a report from the Owensboro Messenger-Inquirer. Now, according to an electronically filed deposition, Steins, believed to be 44 years old, was expected to provide a deposition Monday related to the 2022 lawsuit with the former deputy sheriff and the woman who alleged she was promised favorable treatment for sexual favors. What the devil is going on? This is crazy. This is crazy. So this is where we at right now. What the motive is still unknown. I'm pretty sure they're going to get more details. And as we get more details, we'll pass along this channel. You guys let me know what y'all think about this. Thank you to everybody for tuning in. If you have not done so already, hit that like button, support the channel. If you want to donate, there's the Cash App, there's the PayPal. Any and all donations are accepted and appreciated. And last but definitely not least, shouts out to the LDBC. This your man. Scream at me. Ho!